I find that when I get home, I try my best to disconnect from work as much as possible.
It's very important to have understanding and people who are always there.
You'll always have issues. There'll be never there will be good times, but also there will be plenty of bad times.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this portion of the podcast, we are going to focus more on resilience and coping mechanisms when it comes to dealing with mental health struggles. So the first question I have is for you, Jason, actually. What are some of the coping strategies individuals can add into not just a particular moment, but to their day-to-day lives when they're faced with anxiety or for them to manage stress and any other mental health challenges?
Right. So day-to-day stuff, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough question. I think once I sort of get into work, it's work till this time. But I find that when I get home, I try my best to disconnect from work as much as possible, especially when it's with the kids or having dinner and stuff. I think putting the phone away is a big one. I definitely struggle with it. As even though I'm saying this, it's definitely tough. But yeah, I think putting the phone away and making sure a certain amount of time, maybe till your kids go to bed or whatever it is, that you're there at that point. And then after that, maybe you can catch up on some work so you can bring your anxiety back down, because obviously it's going to build during that time that, especially when we're in the export field. So there's a lot of production that's going on till 10, 11 in the night, right? So we want to know what the reports are. We want to plan the next day. Has it been changed? So we have to do that in the night anyway. When you're running factories, that's just how it is. But maybe putting a gap in there to spend time with family, putting the phone down, that's a big one. I personally try to take every 2 months, take a few days off, maybe on a long weekend, I go camping, stuff like that, sort of to disengage, lose phone connectivity. That's the only way. The phone calls are not going to come in anyway. So I don't know if that's maybe I'm hiding from the problems, I don't know, but that's kind of what I do too, really.
But it's just about like you disconnecting at the right time and focusing on the stuff that that gives your family or person.
And I think having a good partner really helps. To certain points, I want to talk to. Maybe she'll ask a question that's not relevant to work, which might help you then forget work for some time.
Get your mind off
then,
stuff.
That will help as well.
Thanks for sharing that. So Ashinka, somewhat the same question since Jason mentioned about having a good partner. So I know you are super close to your family. So in times of uncertainty, what do you think, how important is to have a good support system, someone to rely on? And like, if you can tell me a little bit about how you feel about that.
Yeah, so my family, my husband, they're very nice people. They've been very nice to me. They are throughout, everything. Running a business is not easy. I think they know it very well. There's so much of stress that goes. There's so much of, I had to face situations where, very simple things that other people can go and, get it done easily. I had, for me, even things that was challenging for me and my partner when we started the business. So at a point you come, maybe I should give up, maybe this is not the right thing, maybe this is not for us, but then they're there, okay, you take your time, if you want to cry, finish it off. And then they're always there to say, you can do it, this is the way it is. If you want to build something big, you have to go forward and, you have to face all these challenges. So they've been there. I've been through a lot when I started all of this. I mean, with my 9-to-5 job as well, it's not the easiest. I'm not finding it easy to even leave it, because I believe being stable is, very important. And for me, I find it difficult to leave and to focus more on this. I think until I start building that.
Until you're content.
Yes. So I have, challenges there. And, that is two different trades. One is paper and the other thing is something totally different. One, we are bringing it down, others we are sending it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My parents, my husband, he has been a very wonderful man. I throw different kinds of tantrums every day, and he has been nice to take it very nicely. He's a calm soul, and I'm the complete opposite of him. But yeah, they've been there, my sisters, my family, and having that is very important. I think I've not gone very far, but I've come to a certain extent. It's because of their support. So it's very important to have understanding and people who are always there, because generally, you know, if you surround yourself with people, you know, this entire, you know, everybody around you sometimes are not, you know, very supportive.
Yeah.
So having that support system in your, you know, having close friends, very limited amount of people are enough. That's enough for you to go. You know, you can just
It's your safe
Yeah.
place, right?
yeah. And I think that motivates you to do more also.
And sometimes
To not-
even when you want to give up, they're the ones
They are,
who's
they're
gonna
there
push
to, you know, motivate you to
yeah.
go forward. And I say sometimes just coming home and just you can do it. Like before I came here for this, I've never done podcast before. I'm just saying, and you know, he was like, you know, you will do it. That confidence that he has in me is, you know, pushes me forward.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing. So the next question I have is for you, Dmitri. Can you tell me about a time in your life where you faced a significant challenge and how you sort of managed to manage your stress, to keep your mental health at bay? How did you sort of navigate out of that situation?
There are multiple, like there are many instances, both big and small. I think for me, one part of my life that I think religion is something that plays a big part for me. Faith in God, prayer, and then when you're in prayer is also like a form of meditation as well. So that really helps you calm yourself down, relax, and also every day I start like with a prayer and then finish the day off with a prayer. So those also help you, and always the support of the family, the trust and the guidance they provide. All those, I think, like she mentioned about the support system, that's very important because you'll always have issues. There'll be never there will be good times, but also there will be plenty of bad times. Like for me, work wise, when I started in 2015, those 4 years or so, tourism was doing very well, and it was very easy to run a business where when things are doing well, it's always easy. Then we had Easter Sunday, COVID, and all these economic problems, all of these. So, which we had certain months, 2-3 months without zero business, zero tourists, nothing. But that never affected my dad or myself. We always had a peaceful night's sleep. Like we had certain months with zero income, but we had to have a monthly salary bill of close about 150 million we used to pay without having any income for certain months. So, but that didn't affect us like any mental stress or anything. I think just faith in God that things will bounce back, and we carried forward. So I think it's what makes whatever religion you may be now. I'm a Catholic, but you may be Buddhist, Muslim, Hindu, whatever it is. Having that belief, religion always helps to whatever the God you believe in, to pray, and helps you calm down. And it's also a form of meditation also, so puts your mind at ease.
Yeah, that's very true. Thanks for sharing that. Applying that nature of resilience and calmness that Dmitri was speaking about, Ashinka, how do you think you as an individual can apply that same theory to your workplace to support your employees in high pressure situations? How would you go about it?
Yeah, this question I can answer with an experience I had recently. Sure. So at my workplace, my boss wanted to switch departments. Mm-hmm. And we had got all our new staff members, our assistants newly. So they had 25 months to train under each one of us. So we have different departments, one for packaging, one for notebooks, like that's called wood-free paper, and the other one is called art paper, artboard and all of that. So yeah, so we three had to switch our assistants, which didn't sit well. They were dependent on us, and they knew how we worked, our styles. We three are very different, so 3 different styles, and switching us was like, a very difficult thing. Everybody was down. Nobody wanted to go ahead with, the boss's plan, and we were against it. We always had meetings going in and telling him, you have to reconsider this again. But then at a point you can't drag the same thing, and our boss is very too kind to even give into it. So then when everybody was down and everyone, like we thought of maybe, you know, we stayed here this long now, it's time, you know, to maybe I'll focus on my own thing and just quit. And then that coming from a person like me from my position in that company was not right. And then, you know, my other colleagues also followed. And then the assistants were like, okay, then we maybe, you know, we are so down, maybe we leave. And at one point, you know, me and my colleague, we were talking, we were saying that, you know, we are putting these people down. Either we have to, you know, we have to snap and just come up and just, you know, think that we are going to get this sorted, and whatever it is, maybe it's something different than what we do. We'll try to do our best. And that small thing within us that we, you know, that the little courage that we took to ourselves to, you know, put that negativity away and, you know, I'm going to move forward, I'm going to do it. And, you know, you guys also have to do it. You can do it. I think it's within us.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because I feel, you know,
it's just we don't want to tap into it, but it's something, we have the capacity.
Yeah. You just have to sometimes speak to yourself and say, no, you can do this. Maybe, you know, you're just making I'm not saying you validate what you feel, but then it's...
But also knowing that there were others depending on you.
Yes,
and then
that's a
that
huge
lead,
pressure, because, you know, they all, even the new when they don't know. And in case if there's a mistake in my workplace now, let's say something went on demurrage or something is wrong, like with all the documentation, these are like millions and millions of rupees that we have to pay as claims. So that's a huge responsibility for a group of people that came, you know, that was recruited newly. And then, you know, people like us who work there for long and who has experience, when we take a U-turn and, you know, with all the negativity, sometimes you have to speak to yourself and say, you know, don't put others down. You have to go forward. And it's what you say that, you know, will encourage all the others also to motivate themselves to move forward. So that's what I do whenever I feel, you know, down or something. I sulk about it for some time, and then I speak myself into it and just move forward. And like Dmitri said, the faith in God and all of that is a... I have a lot of faith in God, yes.
Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that. This is a very interesting session. Like, I learned so much from you guys, and we'll be back for the third and final session of the podcast very soon.
If you enjoyed that video, make sure to like and subscribe to the GEP YouTube channel. And we also have a bunch of very interesting practical short courses which are related to the episodes from the podcast. So stay tuned.